I'm not a complicated man. I like cinema.
Spent that whole summer with me in my room watching movies every day.
I love the movies.
I love the movies.
I love the movies.
Welcome
to
The house
of 1,000 movies.
Hey everyone, Jeff here. Welcome back to House of 1,000 Movies. And before we get started with today's episode with our guest, James B. Jones, wanted to give you a little bit of context on the episode here, who James is, and some of what you'll hear in the episode. So James is from the Netflix show Love on the Spectrum, and that's one of my favorite Netflix shows. Absolutely love it. I think it's one of the most just wholesome things in the world right now, which we all need more of. So James is one of my favorites on the show, and he's also a local New England guy. So we'd been talking. I reached out to him, and then I was following him on Instagram and realized he had a pretty decent sized physical media collection and had a couple of posts about how passionate he was about his movies and physical media. And he's, a self-admitted nerd geek who loves technology, loves movies, loves TV shows. So I thought he'd be a great guest for the podcast, and I was super excited to get the chance to have a long conversation with him. Now, we had a couple of technical difficulties here, so I had to end up recording with James on a different platform than what I usually use, so the audio may not be as great. And if you're watching the video version on YouTube, James was at work that day that we talked, and he wasn't super comfortable being on camera and showing basically where he works, which I totally respected. So I'll just have a photo of him as a placeholder. I was on the video, but he was not. So just audio on his side. I respected that fully. But I'll tell you, James is an extremely, extremely passionate individual who definitely knows entertainment in TVs and movies. I learned a few things listening to him. He's got a passion for physical media, and he pointed out a ton of great releases that have never come to Blu-ray, or he hoped would get a 4K release. He made some really good points, some titles that I wasn't even thinking of, and a couple that I'd never even heard of. So it was a really cool interview. I was honored to have the chance to talk to him. And if you haven't seen the show, go check it out on Netflix. It's a great show, and James will, I think, immediately become one of your favorite characters. So with that said, let's jump right into the interview with Mr. James B. Jones himself. Hey everyone, welcome back to House of 1,000 Movies. I'm your host, Jeff Rossio, and today I've got James Jones from the Netflix show Love on the Spectrum. I'm a huge fan, James, huge fan of the show. I've been watching since it came out. I've watched every episode, so this is a great honor to have you on here today.
Oh, excellent. I'm very glad to hear that. Yes, always happy to meet fans of the series, and thank you very much for inviting me onto your show.
Of course. So yeah, I want to give a little, maybe a quick introduction on yourself, who you are, and kind of what you've done on the show, so people who aren't familiar know where to go look for you.
Yes, absolutely. Let me see now. Was it? Yes, well, I was diagnosed with autism or Asperger's syndrome at a young age, perhaps 10 or 11, because yes, previously before that, I had difficulty interacting with other people. So of course I was doing very well academically, but socially not so much. So yes, my parents took me to a psychologist. Yes, and they discovered I had Asperger's syndrome, or a form of neurodiversity. And at that time, neurodiversity was not well understood. So my parents realized that normal mainstream education would not work for me. So they searched around, they found me a special program that was specifically designed for students who are neurodiverse. And that really helped. That absolutely helped me to develop the social skills that were necessary and for me to reach the spot where I am now. So yes, that's very good. But so yes, I've always been fond of video games, comics, superheroes, um, yes, things of that nature, like sci-fi, fantasy, Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, DC, and so on and so forth. Oh yes, like Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, and other nerdy or geeky pursuits, hobbies. Always been fond of that. So yes, and I work in technical sports. I've always had a great fondness and fascination for computers, electronics, and technology, and science in general. Absolutely, science. Well, yes, I love visiting the Museum of Science, one of my favorite places. So yes,
Mhm.
yes, that kind of thing. So yes, I work in technical support. Just been pursuing a career in tech support since 2010, actually, and enjoy it. I believe I made a very wise decision in my choice of career.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's right up your alley. And one of the reasons I reached out, other than being obviously a big fan of the show, and being a big fan of yours, and being a local guy, I'm from the New England area too, was that I saw you were posting a bunch of stuff from your movie collection, and that's sort of what the podcast here is all, a celebration of movies, and you actually purchased a lot of physical media, which I thought was really cool. Obviously, I don't know if you can see behind me, but I've got a quite the collection myself. So I'm interested, how did you get started, buying movies, collecting physical media? Why is that important to you?
Of course, I'm trying to think since digital media was not a major thing at the time when I was younger. Yes, I've always had physical media. So my parents, of course, collected it, and now I am a good PC now. Oh, yes. So actually, my parents, of course, they're of the age where they owned phonographic records, and my father still has a fairly impressive collection of phonographic records. Then, of course, we had plenty of VHS and audio cassette tapes for quite a while. But then, yes, once CDs and DVDs were invented and became mainstream, of course, we upgraded our collection of those. But well, then yes, and I started really becoming fascinated and with technology, or fond of science and technology in my adolescent years as I was growing older, as I was entering middle and high school. So yes, that's when I really started to develop a fondness for computers as well. So let me see now. As I began to learn more about technology and pay more attention, of course, I learned about I'm trying to think about other formats as well. Well, just trying to think now. When Blu-ray was invented, when Blu-ray came out, that was that was promoted as being a big deal, mind you. So yes, I've been upgrading my collection of Blu-ray, but well, then of course, and now we have 4K discs as well. I've been upgrading my collection of 4K as well, but sometimes my parents think I'm just wasting money, but I do not wish to believe that. I believe because when I upgrade my media to new formats, typically you get superior video and audio quality. Plus, of course, I'm helping to support physical media. If no one purchased it, they'll stop producing it. So yes, by purchasing the newer formats like 4K discs, for instance, I'm helping to support the format, and hopefully they'll continue to do it. Yes. This
Yeah,
actually one of the reasons why I like physical media is because no one can deprive you, no one can take it away. With streaming, it's far too easy for the owners of the streaming service to alter or delete content at any time for no reason at all.
yeah, no, I'm definitely in the same
Yes,
boat. There's great quality, and then yeah, you don't want.
yes.
Have you
Actually,
had any shows you've run into, or movies that you've noticed have been taken off of streaming that you're happy you have on disc?
I don't really watch much streaming anyway, actually. So no, I haven't noticed. Was it I have an account on Netflix, which I had to make in order to watch them on the Spectrum. But other than that, I do not have any accounts on any other streaming service. And I really do not have any intentions of it. But I figure as long as I have my account on Netflix, I may as well take advantage of it. So yes, I finally decided to check out Stranger Things. I'm so glad I did. It was absolutely amazing. It's not very few movies or television series live up to their hype, but Stranger Things absolutely did. It's one of the rare few series I've seen where that absolutely deserves every bit of praise it receives. It is so good. I just I'm a little annoyed it's taking so long for the fifth and final season to come out, but I'm eagerly waiting. As I said, I watched the first season of the Wednesday Addams series. Well, another excellent series, but again, no indication when the next season's coming out. So yeah, there's that. So a while back I watched Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That was previously exclusive Netflix, but that was actually released in physical form not too long ago. So of course I bought it. Another excellent movie. Very glad it's in physical form. And oh, what else? Well, as long as discussing, I do not have an account on Disney Plus because again, I just don't want to support that streaming that model mode, that format. But they've been releasing some of the Marvel Cinematic Universe series that were previously exclusive to Disney Plus in physical form. I'm so happy about that. So yes,
Yeah.
I bought several. I purchased several of the series on physical form to watch, and so yeah, it's not bad. I want to hope they keep it up because they released WandaVision, Loki, season 1 of Loki, and Falcon of the Winter Soldier. Sorry, yes, Falcon and Winter Soldier. So obviously, I'm really hoping they'll release Loki season 2 at some point. But this also has me hoping that they'll reach further back into their catalog for some other things that have not released. I'm dearly hoping since Disney owns both Marvel and Fox now, I'm dearly hoping they'll give us a physical release of some of the various Marvel animated series from the 90s, because some of those have never been released in physical form. So it would be so nice to have those in physical form.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I'm glad you're able to watch some of those Disney Plus shows. I know that was very exciting for a lot of collectors, both on Marvel and Star Wars, with the Star Wars shows that they released. I think good news is I can tell you Loki season 2 should be coming to disc, so you should be able to get that. And I think
Oh, very
even
good, very good.
yeah, I think even Wednesday Adams, the first season is coming to a disc too, if
Yes.
you wanted to own that.
Maybe I'm not certain if I'd watch it yet. Actually, no,
Yeah.
maybe I'll purchase it just to help support, just to show them that there is in fact demand for it. That maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great point of, that's part of why I buy them too, right? It's not just to have it, but it's to show the
Right.
support so it
Oh,
stays
well,
alive.
I have a ton of music CDs actually. So I know you're talking about movies, but yes, I I still like to purchase music CDs. I think I have a very impressive collection of music CDs. But of course, I have a digital music player, obviously. So
Mhm.
I can't be carrying around CDs everywhere. But still, I do still have the CDs just to help support the format. And I think I think they look pretty good on my shelf. They're good for course. I like being able to have the booklets with all the cool information, all the pictures, information and stuff.
Yeah, of course. And so are you like for CDs, are you somebody who like takes them and rips them onto your computer and then puts
Yes,
them onto a
exactly.
player? Yeah,
I do that. That's how I transfer them to my MP3 player.
perfect. Have you done that with movies at all, or do you keep all your movies on the
No,
disc?
because I don't think I'll ever find myself in a situation where I need to watch movies on the go. So I mean, I think just about every movie I purchase does come with a code for a digital download. But no, I don't. I've never found myself in a situation where I've actually needed to watch movies on the go, because it's you see
True.
with movies there with music you can have headphones on. Well, no, you can be in your car listening to music, but you obviously you'd stay focused on the road. If you obviously if I'm the driver, I can't exactly be watching a movie in the car now, can I? Or
Right.
or elsewhere, like if I'm out, if I'm working at the gym, or if I'm on an airplane, or if I'm going out for a walk or something. Again, I can have music on I can be wearing my headphones, have music playing. But again, I really can't exactly be watching a movie when I'm in any of this. Well, maybe on the airplane, but no, not any of the other situations. So yeah. So no, I really have no need to take movies any to be for watching movies on the go.
No, totally makes sense. Do you know how many roughly, how many movies are in your collection or how many CDs?
Oh, movies? No, I could wait. I have okay. I have one drawer. Wait. Give me a second. I have a drawer. Well, please give me more. So I
Yeah, of
have
course.
I have a cabinet downstairs next to my television. There are 3 levels, 3 shelves, and have the movies in 2 rows in each shelf. And I have about 19 movies in 2 rows, so about 19 by 6. Oh well, let's just say 20 by 6. No, wait. 19 plus 19 is. Wait, 40? No, 40 times 6. Yeah. Well, no, yes. So I have 6 rows of 20 movies. So, oh, wow, that's a lot of movies.
Yeah.
What's 240 movies? Yeah, somewhere they're about, well, so or somewhere, I'll have to count at some point, but that's what I think I have. Yeah, that's not too bad. Oh, as for music CDs, oh my God, I have several hundred. I don't know if I have 1,000 music CDs yet, but I have several hundred. Well, I have like over 12,000 songs in my music collection. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, that is an impressive collection. That's a lot of movies too. I mean,
Yes.
so like 250-ish, and are they all are they all different formats? Do you still have some
Actually,
DVDs,
I'm not
Blu-ray?
actually. I think just about. I think all my movies, as a matter of fact, are either Blu-ray or 4K. I've been doing a pretty good job upgrading. I have some television series as well, but a
Yeah.
few of those are in Blu-ray. But actually, a lot of those are still DVD. Actually, I don't know why they even still make DVDs anymore, considering that Blu-rays and 4K. Well, Blu-ray discs can't be that expensive now. I mean, 4K discs are probably still a little on the expensive side, but Blu-rays can't be that expensive now. But yeah, I'm kind of annoyed. I'm waiting some of those TV shows that I have. I would really like to see released on Blu-ray or 4K at some point.
What are a couple of your favorites that you'd love to see
Ah,
upgraded?
two of my favorite television shows ever are Gargoyles and Reboot. Have you ever heard of those two series?
I've definitely heard of Gargoyles. I grew up on that one. The other one,
God,
Reboot was the other one.
Reboot is the first ever all CGI television series. It was made by a Canadian studio called Mainframe Entertainment. Oh my
Hmm.
God, that show is so good. It is absolutely one of my favorite television series ever. Yes, and I mean, of course, it came out in 1994, so of course it shows its age, but still, as I said, it's the first ever all CGI television series, but thankfully that's not all. That's not the only thing that makes it good. It still has an excellent cast of characters, an excellent story. So yes, they weren't just relying on the fact that it was the first all CGI television series. They still made an effort to have great characters and a great story too, thankfully.
Oh, I'll have to check that one out. I definitely remember Gargoyles.
Okay, yeah, well, Gargoyles has been released on DVD, but never on any form beyond that. I mean, Disney released the complete series of Rescue Rangers on Blu-ray not long ago, so it'd be very nice if they could give us the complete series of Gargoyles on Blu-ray as well.
Yeah, I think that they have been doing some of their, well, I guess like you said too, some of those old Marvel animated shows and Gargoyles, and there's a lot of good stuff out there that they haven't really tapped into yet. So
Yes.
that's
Plus,
that's another good one.
I have several Cartoon Network shows that have been released only on DVD. I'm a little annoyed because Warner Brothers was thankfully they were kind enough to release almost all the DC animated shows from the
Mhm.
90s, early 2000s on Blu-ray. So, which of course I haven't. So why can't they do the same for the Cartoon Network shows? You know?
Yeah, no, I know I have a bunch of those like Batman Beyond and Batman the Animated Series. I have a
Oh,
bunch of
yes,
those in my
yes.
collection too, but
Oh, excellent.
yeah, I do have those Cartoon Network shows. Yeah, they're only DVD, and actually they just announced, I don't know if you saw this, but they announced yesterday Dexter's Laboratory um coming to disc for the first time, but again only a DVD.
Well, hold on. Well, the first season of Dexter's Laboratory was released on DVD quite some time ago, which I have,
Oh,
of course, but it would be nice to get more of Dexter's Laboratory, but let me see.
yeah, this will be the
Well, was
complete
it?
series.
Well, at least the second season, because the show ended after season two. But then the reruns were so popular, and they renewed it for two more seasons. But the fans, longtime fans, almost universally dislike the seasons three and four because they made it just wasn't the same. Like the original creator, Gendy Tartakovsky, had very little input into that. Had very little input in for seasons three and four, and yeah, had very little input. Plus, I don't, not all the actors actually return some, but yeah, I decided to take it. Yeah, you're right. The complete series Dexter Laboratory is coming out, so yeah, I guess I can get that just for maybe for season two anyway.
Yeah.
God, it
Yeah.
says six seasons. I don't recall that show having six seasons, but anyway, but yes, but you never know. Maybe I should at least check it out just to see why. Just maybe I could just see for myself why the later seasons were so bad. Perhaps
Yeah.
maybe I think maybe I'll do it because since I mentioned Gargoyles earlier, the Gargoyles lasted for three seasons, but let's see. The general consensus among the fandom is that the first two seasons were excellent, and the third season of Girls was a complete disaster. And that's because the original creator had little to no input for the third season. So yeah,
Mm.
actually, the original creator said he doesn't regard the third season as canon. So yeah, that's the thing. If they were to give us the complete series of Gargoyles on Blu-ray, we'd have to put up with the third season, most likely. So oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. Or did you
No,
have
no, no.
anything to say?
No, that's hey, that's why I had John. I wanted to hear it all. I mean, I love just this is what I do in the podcast, talk to people
Excellent.
about their favorite shows. And I mean, we did a lot of TV shows. So how about, what are some of your favorite movies? And are there any that, you'd really like to see get an upgrade that maybe haven't yet?
Well, it'd be nice if we could get. I mean, I know obviously the original Star Wars trilogy has been actually that's been released in 4K, but they keep making so many changes. It'd be
Hmm.
nice if they could give us an option like to watch either the original theatrical version or the special edition. That would actually be something. I mean, not likely to have. But wait, what? I'm trying to think. Oh, I had a few. Oh, yes, that's right. Titan AE has never been released on any format beyond DVD. I honestly cannot believe that because that's a great movie, a really excellent movie. So yeah, I don't have it in my collection because I'm really holding out for it to be released on Blu-ray. I'm not sure how lucky it is. Have like what was it? One movie I waited for was I waited for the Swan Princess to be released on Blu-ray, and it was. Glad I waited for that. And well, actually, not too long ago, The Prince of Egypt was released in 4K. So
Yes.
I almost bought. I was just about ready to buy The Prince of Egypt on Blu-ray, but then I saw they'd announced it was being released on 4K. So I'm very glad I didn't spend the money on the Blu-ray version. So I bought the 4K. Said, what else? There's another one. Oh, well, The Iron Giant has been released on Blu-ray, thankfully, but not yet on 4K. Which I'm a little annoyed because Warner Bros. Has released the original Space Jam in 4K. So why
Hmm.
not The Iron Giant? The Iron Giant is an amazing movie, absolutely one of my favorite movies. So the fact that that movie has not been released in 4K, I think is very unfortunate. Yeah, I would absolutely, but I'm sure that movie would look amazing in 4K. And what
Yeah.
else? Wait, was there another one? I'm drawing a blank. I know there was another movie I was going to mention that hasn't been upgraded past a certain format yet. Or I guess Anastasia would be nice to get. It has been released in Blu-ray, but it'd be nice to get in 4K. Oh, yes, Ferngully and the Page Master. I'd like to see those two movies in 4K. They're
Mm.
both on Blu-ray now. Oh, yes, and both Fantasia movies from Disney. Oh my God, I'd love for those to be in 4K. They'd look amazing. Plus, of course, given that those two movies are all about music, they'd have to have Dolby Atmos or DTS soundtracks, obviously.
Yeah, that's no, those are it's a lot of good picks. I wasn't even
It's
Fantasia would be excellent. Just the colors in that and the music would be incredible.
definitely. And a few other Disney movies too, like Disney. Well, for a while they've been releasing some of their old classic movies on 4K, but they stopped. Like I bought Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Cinderella as soon as they were available, but they stopped. There have been no further announcements after that, which is really annoying. So, and it would be nice to get Sleeping Beauty in 4K. Or what about yourself? Are there any movies that have not been released a certain format that you'd like to see released in a newer format?
Yeah, it's I have a lot of DVDs that I would like to see upgraded, which and a lot of it is TV shows too, but there's a movie called Primer, which I don't know if you've heard of. It's kind of an indie time travel movie, which is really very interesting. It gets very deep into the science of time travel, and it was a small film, and it actually just last week got announced to have a Blu-ray release, but it's coming out in Australia, so I'm hoping they make
Okay.
it accessible in the United States. Um, I'd love to see A Nightmare on Elm Street in that whole series
Oh yes. Oh,
come to
that's right.
4K. They did announce, I don't know if you saw it, they announced that the first film in the series is going to be on 4K this
Oh,
year.
good. I didn't hear about that, but oh, wait. Oh, since you mentioned that, a few years ago, Shout Factory released the complete Friday the 13th series in Blu-ray. So be nice to
Yep.
get it for me. Oh, but they've actually released the complete. Well, okay, no, not complete. Sorry, like the first six Halloween movies in 4 is a nice 4K box set. So yes, actually,
Yes.
a box set of all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies would be pretty awesome as well.
That's what I'm hoping for. Are you a big horror movie fan too? Because I
Some depends. Well, actually, the majority of movies are better when they're one and done. Like almost very few movies movie sequels ever live up to the original. So
sure.
yeah, so I'm trying to think. The only sequel, watching horror movies there, because horror movies get very repetitive very quickly. So but yeah, I have the 1982 version of The Thing on. Well, actually, oh, wait, I have that. Actually, no, that has been released in 4K, but I still have the Blu-ray only because the 4K version wasn't released by Shout Factory the way the four. It was,
Right.
I got the original Alien in 4K, very nice, but I don't know if I'm going to purchase Aliens, the sequel in 4K. I mean, that movie was almost as good as the original, but I don't know if that one has quite the replay value, rewatch value that the original does or not. But yes, well,
So is that sort of how you decide what to what to buy for your collection. You're looking for things that have like rewatchability.
Yes, exactly. It's a movie I know I'm going to watch more than once. I will definitely buy it. Oh, yes, actually, speaking of, Terminator 2 has been released in 4K, not the first Terminator. I'm a
Right.
little annoyed by that. How could they not?
Right. That's one of the biggest movies of all time. Yeah, that's definitely on the list for me too. Terminator. And then well, for a very long time I had The Abyss on my list, but that
Oh,
finally got
I
released.
actually can't believe I've never seen The Abyss, so I'm going
Oh,
to
you
have
should check it out.
to. I know I've heard it was really good.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's, I mean, if you like the sci-fi stuff and some of that, I mean, sounds like you like some of James Cameron's movies too, right?
Yes.
So,
Oh, James Cameron isn't too bad. I've seen a few of his movies. I've
yeah.
seen Terminator, Titanic, Avatar, and Aliens. But actually, since we're talking about directors, I would dearly love to see a John Carpenter box set. Actually, because
Yeah.
Shout Factory has released the majority of John Carpenter's movies separately, but a John Carpenter box set would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, there was one that came out in the UK and it
Uh,
had, well, it had The Thing, it had The Fog, it had They Live, and it had Escape from New York.
uh,
All on 4K. But yeah, there's still a lot of others. You're a big Carpenter fan?
yes, he's pretty awesome. Yeah, his movies were really good. I'm like, was it when I watched them? So of course I watched. Actually, the original Alien was one of the first horror movies I ever saw. It was, and it was wait, was it one of the first horror movies I ever saw? And I was very young when I watched it, so of course I was frightened. I was afraid to go see, but that's how you know it was a good movie. I'm very glad that was my first horror movie. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad my first horror movie wasn't something totally lame. Maybe I shouldn't say any names or whatever, but yes, I'm glad it was a good movie, not a lame one. But what else is it now? Yes, but so of course, by the time I was already an adult when I saw the 1982 version of Thing. I was in my 20s or something, but so of course, by that point now, mind you, I wasn't getting scared as easily, of course, because I was older, more experienced. But yes, the 1982 version of The Thing was the first. Well, it was the first horror movie I'd seen in many years that genuinely frightened me. So that's how good of a movie it was.
Yeah, no, it's one of my I'm actually looking at right now. I have the well, you mentioned the Shout Factory release, and I have that poster hanging up in my office, and I
Of
had
what movie, please?
for The Thing,
Oh,
and
excellent.
I had John Carpenter sign it for me. So that's one of my
Oh,
prize.
very
What?
nice.
Yeah, one of my prized possessions. That's got some really cool artwork on it. I know the release you're talking about. I have that one too. Very cool.
I see. Yes. So that's pretty good. Actually, so every so often I've sent messages to Shout Factory asking them, hey, would you consider would you consider trying to get your licensing this movie or whatever? Yes, sometimes they are able to, sometimes they're not or whatever,
Yeah,
but like, although one time I asked, would you consider doing a Hammer horror box set? Because they released several Hammer horror films separately, but not together. Like, for example, like Hammer horror made like 7 Dracula and 6 Frankenstein films or something, but those are
yeah.
pretty nice box sets or whatever. But yeah, or I
All
guess,
those
oh my
Christopher
God,
Lee
it's
movies,
almost
right?
12. Yeah, God, we'll have to have another meeting at some point. Yeah, so we can just talk about this more. Actually, if you're ever available on Saturday or Sunday, that'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I know
We'll
you're.
have to keep trying to
I,
sort out, but because there are tons of movies that have never been released in forms. Like, I guess very briefly, there in the 70s, there was a movie called Allegro Non Troppo, which was like it was very similar to Fantasia. It wasn't made in the US. I forgot what country
oh,
made it, but it was kind of like this, some other company doing their take on Fantasia. Yeah, Allegro Non, 1970. Let me just look it up quickly. Allegro Non Troppo. It was Italian. It was like their version of it's almost like a parody of Fantasia. It was made in 1976, but yeah, that's a movie I'd like to see. I don't know if that movie's been out of print for quite a long time, so I'd like to see that one get released. And there's also a movie called The Metamorphosis or Metamorphoses, but that's an animated film again that's been out of. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm getting unnerved, but yeah, it's a Japanese film called Metamorphoses, and that's basically an animated anthology film, very similar to Fantasia as well. Actually, that I don't know if that one's been out of print for a long time, but yeah. So we'll definitely have to talk again at some point. I would love to continue speaking about this, but oh yeah, I never really got to talk about Love on the Spectrum much. How I discovered the show, how I audition for it, but maybe we can discuss that at some other point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know you're up against it here and you got your lunch break. So I will just say, I mean, well, where can, where can people find you? And if you want to give like a quick 1 minute breakdown on what the show is and what it's all about.
Oh, well, I don't think we have time. There's no way I could talk about Love and the Spectrum for such a short duration, but I have my own Instagram account. Yes, my name on Instagram is James B. Jones 87, and I post there fairly frequently. And I have a merchandise store to which there's a link on my Instagram account. And I shall be making an appearance as a special guest at a convention on Saturday, May 25th, up in Kittery, Maine. It is called the New England Toy and Record Show. Yes, so definitely be pretty cool if I have any fans who want to come meet me at that convention.
Yeah, that's great. I know that area well. I go up to Maine quite a
Oh, how
bit.
about
So
that?
yeah. So geez, maybe I'll try to get out. I don't know if I'm gonna be up there that weekend,
Ah,
but that would be
okay,
very cool. We'll definitely plug all
excellent,
that.
excellent.
But
All
yeah, I
right,
appreciate your time, James. We'll
yes,
definitely
thank
have
you
to
very
do this
much.
again. You're a wealth
Absolutely.
of knowledge when it comes to
Yes, thank
movies.
you.
I just learned a bunch of stuff from you, so I appreciate it.
Great.
And I'm
Excellent.
sure our listeners and viewers did as well. So thank
Excellent.
you very much. I
Of
appreciate the
course,
opportunity
absolutely, without a question.
and yeah, best of luck with everything and with the show too. The show's been a big hit, and I know I follow you on
Absolutely.
Instagram, and the videos have been great.
Good,
So
good.
hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yes, thank you very much. I hope you have a very nice weekend also.
Thank you. Hey there, movie buff. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of House of 1,000 Movies. I hope you had as much fun listening as I did discussing some of my favorite films. Don't forget, if you're into video podcasts, you can head over to the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. If you're already on YouTube, it's right there, so why not hit it? And for our audio listeners, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. If you've been enjoying the show, why not show me some love by leaving a 5-star review? It really helps me out, and it lets me know that I'm hitting the mark. And hey, before you go, a quick shout out to our sponsors. By supporting them, you're not just supporting the show, but also the content you love. Thanks again for joining me in the House of 1,000 Movies. Until next time, keep watching, keep listening, and keep watching great movies. Take care, everyone.